I mean, that's the most outlandish thing in the world. But that's the kind of crap that they would do. They would bring up.
Hey, listen, and when I say I hit somebody, the only reason that is the case is because where I grew up in El Paso, Juarez all the time, bro, we were in street fights every weekend at Juarez.
Same.
And let me tell you, dude. Yeah, let me tell you, you don't wait for someone to hit you in those streets.
Hell no.
No, dude, you fire first every time.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight if it ends right away. It's not a fight. It's not a fight if it's an attack. If it's an attack, it means that one person offended and the other person did not defend. That's what that means. Right. A fight is a struggle. You make it an attack. You make it a finish. So
exactly. And my dad always to hit first, man. That's questions. If someone's coming up with you with a double fist, they're looking at you like they're going to do something. When he gets in your space, hit him. And that's that is how I survived growing up to Mexico all the time and being a boxer. Man, dude, you don't think I got into it at the weigh-ins all the time? Gee, dude, I remember the guy, you get too close and touch noses. Well, what's next? I'm going to hit. So whenever you would touch my nose, I know it's a fight, dude. Hey, man, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. So I would hit him.
That's your God-given right to defend yourself. Your God-given right is to fucking defend yourself.
I'm going to show him I'm the alpha dog.
And
I'm more alpha than you. That's how I have to show him that I'm not scared and I'm not going to back down. But that's boxing. You know what I mean? That's boxing. That was the mentality I had to be, is kill to be killed in that arena. And now I'm domestic.
Well, we'll touch up on that, but I wanna go backwards a little bit, and I want to say that what Joe just said I can relate to about your different ethnicities, because my buddy Christopher Stoneham, his dad is from England and his mom is Irish. She's 100% Irish. And this guy was angry at life all the time, and he would get real drunk and he'd just start cracking people for no reason. His own buddies. He fought so many of his own friends. He tried fighting me one time, and I told him, I sat him down, I was like, look, I sincerely believe that the reason why you're so angry is because the English and the Irish hate each other, and that's what you are. You're a walking ball of hatred, bro.
I'm telling you, man. Maybe, I'm half German and half Mexican, so maybe, I don't think I has way more English than I do, that's for sure. He does, he'll admit it. I think I'm more laid back, especially now that the career's over. Man, I got nothing else to prove, dude. I've done my fighting 40 times, and I'm over it, bro. I have no desire. I'll be honest. You asked if it was like unfinished business or not. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know if it's just coming in with my getting older and my old age, but I look back at what I did as complete insanity. I miss it, and I miss being that guy because I remember the awesome memories of winning trophies and winning belts, but to live that life again, it was so stressful, so full of anxiety, so much anger, heartache, emotional roller coaster. I don't wish that upon anybody. Kids that ask me today, like, hey, should I box? Should I pick up MMA? I'm like, you better do it more than you love anything else. You better love it more than you love your wife. You better love it more than you love your parents. And you better love it more than you love you, because it's going to break your heart. And it's going to break your heart. No fighter except Mayweather gets out of there like he did, and we don't even know what the end of the story that his story's gonna happen.
Oh, his is coming. But I wanted to bring that up. His is coming. Here's why. Rocky Marciano, 49-0. His mom prayed every freaking fight for him. 49-0. 2 years or 3 years after his retirement, he's traveling home, and his own greed kills him. His own greed kills him because the guy would stash his money. His own greed and paranoia killed him because the guy would stash his money in pipes and fittings all around America. And he's like, nah, before I come home to see the wife and kids, I'm going to go get my money. And because he wasn't fighting anymore, he got bored with it. And I heard he started sleeping around on his wife, and he was treating everybody badly in his family.
Oh, you know.
And he gets decapitated. He's never even been knocked out. He gets decapitated in an airplane crash.
Dude, karma is a funny thing, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you. I look at that, and I think 49-0, and then he dies in a plane crash. I see so many fighters, man, that are on top of the world, and they retire, and then they're broke in the gutter, can't do anything, they live homeless. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Resurrecting the Champ.
What's it called?
Resurrecting the Champ.
Resurrected Champ. Who is that about?
It's about, I think it's Josh Cornell, or what's his name? Josh, I forget the actor's name, but it's called Resurrecting the Champ. It's Champ. And it's Samuel Jackson's in it. And he plays a homeless guy that was once a boxer. and he basically is broke and done. And he talks about how he could have been and should have been and would have been. He lives in the past. And this writer who writes for a paper was trying to do a story on him. And he starts visiting this homeless guy every day and talking with him and seeing what his life is like. And he starts really loving this guy for who he is. And he starts finding out that even though he's a champion, he has a lot of flaws. That's probably why a lot of character flaws that he starts uncovering. And one of them was that he lies a lot. And a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a movie you got to see. It's heart. At the end, well, I won't go into it, but it's a movie you must see. It's heart wrenching. It's a good movie, and it's so many cases with so many fighters. I have fighters in El Paso that I grew up with that turned pro, and they made a big statement in the boxing world. And then I know one of them that he's in jail now for 8 DUIs, dude. 8 DUIs, and he's not getting out for a long time. I got another friend that's punch drunk and lives in his parents' basement. I had another friend that drank too much and took a wrong turn and killed 3 people on an interstate. And now he's going to jail for life. And I look at my life and I say, hey, man, at least I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good considering.
Yeah, you got lucky and met me, dude.
You got a pretty nice beard, I agree.
He's actually just right beside you, but there you go, whatever.
So, we mentioned Tyson a couple times, and we're talking about boxing. You're an amazing boxer. I just got a message back from Scoop Malinowski. Have you ever heard of Scoop Malinowski? He's a reporter. Scoop Malinowski, a reporter, a boxing reporter.
No. Wait. Actually, yeah, I think he's on Twitter.
Yeah, he just messaged me.
Yeah, I think it's Twitter.
He just messaged me, and he said, I'm doing very good. Hope you are too. I'm going to bring him on a podcast sometime soon. I want to get you to actually bring him on as well, because this is the guy that said, put him in a straitjacket at the Tyson and Lennox Lewis conference, and he caused Tyson to go, oh, F you till you love me, faggot.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Oh, yeah?
He's that guy.
That's the guy?
Yes.
Oh, man. I'll fuck you till you love me, faggot. Yeah, oh, man. Well, that's a famous line. That's one of the most famous lines in boxing history.
So Mike Tyson said that, not David Rodriguez, not me. So Mike Tyson said that, just in case.
Mike Tyson, you really gotta admire the guy for how blunt and real he is. I kind of look at him and go, man, imagine just having no filter at all. And I don't really. I really don't either. But not like that. Not to where you can go on the radio and be like, fuck you. It's so crazy. That guy goes on the radio and just tells people to go fuck themselves,
I love Mike. I love Mike because I relate to Mike. Mike was born into a world. It was not nice. It was not kind to him, and he developed this hatred for himself, for everybody, and it made him very selfish. Maybe evil in a way, and he didn't even realize it. And then he used that to better himself. But when his godly figure like Customato, his father figure, died, and Kevin Rooney left him, not Teddy Atlas, but when Kevin Rooney left him, he started getting involved with all these other people, and they weren't good. They weren't good.
That's the parasites. Boxing is full of sharks, parasites, and leeches. Those are the 3 main personalities in boxing. And it's the ones that are really slick and smooth that come up to you with a smile and pat you on the back. And those are the ones you have to be most careful of.
Deception.
Yeah.
A snake is not gonna come straight across the road after you. It's gonna go through the grass.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And I'll tell you what, man, they're the ones that take the most money from you. Because they're very kind and cordial, and hey, son, I treat you like a son. You're like a son to me, They bring you in with love, and then the whole time they're just turning that knife in your back. I mean, it's an unbelievable world. It's a dark, dark world. I don't advise anybody who has kids or any kid that wants to box to do it. You're gambling, dude. You're gambling with your life, man. You're gambling with your life.
So, exactly. So I want to say this. Mike Tyson has his own podcast. I haven't listened to it yet, called Bite the Mic. What are the chances of you getting on that?
Probably pretty high. I like Mike, and I probably just have to reach out to him. But like I said, he changes his number more than he changes his underwear. So, I mean, I try to call that number as disconnected. So, but he's always changing his number. But I could probably get a hold of somebody to get on there. I just don't ever to get on any kind of.
I think that's a date with destiny. I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen, and that's going to really help
I
you
would
out.
love to have a conversation with him again.
Yeah, and Mike Tyson, he reminds me because he's the most unintentionally funny, angry guy I know. And then there's Nick Diaz.
Oh,
If you haven't watched much of Nick Diaz on camera, you wouldn't know this because he's pretty relaxed. He's pretty relaxed behind the scenes. But when he gets on camera, he has ADHD. I have ADHD, but he's got the defiant type. He has the defiant type. Like his mind is always going, and he doesn't want to listen to anybody else. He does not want to obey anybody's rules. And when you put him on camera, he gets the same way like Mike Tyson does. Get out of my face.
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest with you. Like Nick and I are good friends. He's a really close friend of mine, and I just hung out with him at the McGregor fight. We were together, and he's actually a really, really good guy, dude. He's a really.
I know he is.
He is. He's always out there. He's out there in left field. I don't know if he pays attention to anything or anything that's going on around him, but he's always smoking a cigarette, drinking, and he's always like, it looks like he's in deep thought, and he's like, hey Nick, he's like, okay, what's up, dude? You know, like. I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? What are we doing? I don't know. What do you want to do? I'm like, oh, fuck it. It's like, it's just undecisive and just indecisive and just, but the nicest guy, dude. He takes pictures with everybody. He doesn't miss a beat. I love Nick, man. He's a really cool, smooth cat, man.
So I never met Nick or Mike, but I've watched them enough to relate to them and to see their tendencies. I could tell Nick's a very good guy, and I could tell Nick he translates his thoughts and emotions and his passion into his art, into his craft. And I could tell he doesn't really care about the world around him. He doesn't care about the system. He doesn't care about doing life other people's ways. And you know what? I mean, like, I can relate to that. Like, in a way, I've bent over and I've taken one. Because growing up, I was very, 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 very aggressive. Not that I was rude or not intentionally rude. I was always a good person. But just being in the workplace is going to take you away from being that self-sufficient, dominant self, right? And conforming with everybody else. Controlling the way you talk, controlling what you think, controlling what you feel. And it's so unnatural. And eventually some days people snap and they do something wrong. And Nick just doesn't take any of that, neither does Tyson. You know what I mean? And you
gotta respect it. You gotta respect their ways. You know, you're either gonna respect it or you're gonna have conflict with them. Basically, those are your two choices. You know, so some people are just that way, and obviously they pick the right arena to get into with the fighting. You know, so it's just about what are you gonna do after boxing. You can't be like that your whole life because it's cool when you're fighting, but when you're done fighting, what do you do? What are you gonna do? When you're making that transition out the boxing arena or fighting arena? You can't. It's like a pit bull, dude. It's like you fight a pit bull, and what do they do when the pit bull retires? They kill it. They don't send it to be a house pet somewhere. It's the same thing with people. You kind of carry those traits over, and I'm not saying I would kill a pit bull. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people who fight pit bulls do, and it's the same thing with people. You have to make that transition from out of fighting to being a normal, everyday person living in this world, not being a gladiator. That is the hardest, most single biggest struggle I'm dealing with right now is knowing that I can't solve all my problems
with a punch,
with my fist, with boxing. I can't do that anymore. It's over. I have to be smart. I have to figure out another way to work my chess moves. I can't be the guy that just says, okay, let's, whatever, be careless and walking around with a strut and I'm going to beat that ass. I can't be that dude anymore, dude. It's over. It's over. I have to change. Either I change or I go to jail or I die. Yeah. I got to change. And that's why I've been sober too. I stopped drinking because sometimes drinking brings that character out of me and I don't want to be that guy anymore. And I'm not that dude anymore. I'm at the point now, dude, I can't believe I'm saying this at 40 years. I'm turning 40, dude. Where I'm finally like, man, I lived that life. I've done it, dude. I'm done, bro. I just see myself, I can see myself having kids now and chilling. Like really. Well,
when you meet your son, when you meet your son or your daughter, all of your pain is gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense.
I hope so. I hope so, man. I like I said, it's something that I'm finally ready for. Like I'm finally ready to throw in the towel for that turbulent lifestyle and go into another new adventure and have a family. I'm ready for that.
See, my dad says his dad wasn't his life, and my dad went on. And I'm not gonna trash my parents. My dad went on to have four sons from 4 different mothers. So, and then he still to this day is gonna complain about his father. And he doesn't say anything bad about his dad. He just said he wasn't there because of the complications between his mother and father, the divorce. So it's not a knock on my grandfather. Rest in peace. And then my mom, she had 5 children from 3 or 4 different guys. And my parents and even my grandparents and all of their children, they all had kids at a young age. I had my first child at 28. So I think I'm doing good. And then I have a stepdaughter too. So at a very young age, when I was 18 years old, I stepped up to the plate. I had a girlfriend who had a son, and I knew she had a son. She wasn't hiding it from me, and she used to say she was insecure and she would want to hide it from guys. I was like, nah, like I get to love on 2 people. That's the way I look at it, right? So, coming from the childhood I came from, I lived with my grandparents. My grandfather didn't have a dad in his life because he died in the coal mines, and then my grandfather's grandmother remarried to some German guy. And he was really mean to them. My great grandmother had 11 kids from one guy. The guy that my great grandfather who died in the coal mines, 11 kids, and the stepdad would beat everybody, and he'd burn their hands on a hot stove. And one day my grandfather said, "Enough's enough." He took a handle off of one of those old push mowers and smashed him over the head with it when he was 14 and took off. Quit school. Was living in the basement of a guy named George Dillman, who ended up becoming like the #1 karate guy in all the world, karate. But, my grandfather had 3 kids, and they had a bunch of kids, and I was one of them. And, I got to live with my grandparents and my great-grandparents in the same household. So I got to experience that respect and that tradition. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah, you get a wealth of wisdom from that, because even my parents, my dad is 82, my mom is 78, and I just listen to these stories, and it captivates me, and I just go back in time. It's the era they lived in the 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, they were around in those eras of the 60s, 70s, 80s, And I just listen to the stories, and I go, gosh, they're like, my parents to me are like gems. They're golden nuggets. More, they're worth anything, more than my own life, okay? My parents are. And I listen to their stories, and they take me back to a time that everything my dad tells me, it's unbelievable. Even though I thought it was wrong at the time, now I look back at my age now and go, holy shit, that man was right. He was right about all of it. Even though it seemed so wrong when he was telling me, like, it didn't make sense. You don't know, Dad. You're not in my era. You're not my age. You don't know anymore. But don't get in that way. You see, you'll see. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then sure enough, he was right, and he's always right. Yeah. And my mom's a wealth of knowledge too. They're just 2 like encyclopedias of wisdom that I draw upon. They're wells that I draw upon.
And that's awesome, because whether you have good parents or not in life, you can always turn out positive or negative. And I think 2 ways that justify my childhood, besides my grandparents, is that I post pictures and videos of my kids almost every day, like all day long, and you might even see it. And my dad and my mom, who, I would say I've forgiven for the most part, they get to see that. And it's not a slap in their face. That's not why I do it. That's not why I like it. It's me saying, hey, it's all good. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the life. Look at what I created. And look at that cycle doesn't have to continue. And they can rest their heads at night, and they can feel good in their hearts that they created a son who went through adversity, not knowing them as well as he should have, and gave them a beautiful, beautiful grandchildren. And when you meet your kid,
that's so touching.
Yeah,
that's so touching, man. That's a gift in your own right. Because I have a friend named Paul Montano on Facebook. But he talks his dad. Horrible, they died on him at a young age. He was I felt always so bad for him. And then when my sister passed away, he called me when my sister died, and he's one of the only guys that knew the pain and comforted me. He called me, and he'll always impact my life. And today I saw him showing up in a classroom with balloons to his kids, to his son, and he was like showing up, surprising his son with a big birthday present, this and that. And I was like, how beautiful is that, man? This guy went through so much adversity, so much trauma, losing his parents, losing his brother, and he's blessed with a son. I was like, God bless him, man. Like, I felt so, it's been so heartwarming to see him, to see him smile, man. It's amazing, dude. He's such a good dude.
That's connecting, man. We human beings, especially fighters, I think. Actually, fighters get along with other guys. They have a brotherhood. Fighters, military, police. Men at war have brotherhood with one another because they all comprehend the same struggle, you know. Yeah. But I feel like I'm gonna be 28 this month, September. 28? Yeah, no, 29. I'm gonna be 29 September.
It starts going, dude. After 25, bro, it's a blur to me, dude. I'm like, man, I can't. I'm gonna be 40, dog. Like, what? Like, I mean, I'm just looking around. Like, I don't even know what happened. I remember people used to tell me, just wait, you're gonna be there. I'm like, sure, it's old. That's your excuse, whatever. No, dude, it's quick.
I'm gonna be 29, September 27th, and you said you're gonna be 40, right? So like 11-year difference.
Yeah.
With having said that, you're still a destroyer. You're still a fighter. You're still a dominant person. But maybe it's just this time in life for you to start connecting with people more and healing them, because. If I'm bleeding out like you were, or I'm being attacked and I'm weak, you know what I mean, and wounded, I'm gonna go for the guy that I know that can heal but also can fight. I'm not gonna go for the person that can heal but's gonna turn the tail, run away, or they're gonna die on me and then they can't heal me. You know what I mean? So I think it's our duty as human beings to be strong and powerful in that godly way, and God likes that, you know. But at the same time, be loving and healing. It depends on who you're fighting for. Fight the good fight.
I think God needs warriors.
Yeah, David.
I really do. I think He admires the warriors, bro. You got to be. I mean, He sends you, He sends you a sheep among wolves. But sometimes the only way you beat a wolf is by being a wolf, you know. And you got to have that mentality. You know, my dad always tells me, turn the but don't take it in the ass.
Yeah. Hey, man.
So it's like, you know.
Love the good, hate the wicked. That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's what I say. And, you know, talking about it, going back to the kid thing, when I watched my son come out of the womb and he opened up his eyes, I was the first, not person, but the first object that he opened his eyes to. And maybe he couldn't see me, but I could see in his eyes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, when you see your first kid, when you make the eye connection, you're gonna have the memory of now, but you're gonna have the memory of when you were laying on the ground looking up at the guy that tried to kill you, and it's gonna say, "This makes sense. This makes sense."
Wow, bro, that's moving. Man, that's really moving.
So what I think you need to do.
I hope God rewards me with children, man. I really hope so.
Yeah, man. So what I think you need to do is those people you told me about that you grew up with or that were boxers and whatnot that have went through some struggles. Maybe they're in jail. You know what I mean? Like they need to do what we're doing right now. They need the fellowship. They need to not just live physically, but they need to live from inside out, talking. You know, God created the world with a word. They say, right? We were talking about waves. We were talking about wave theory, string theory, everything like that. You ever study somatics?
Yeah.
That proves it.
Everything vibration, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
That somatics kind of proves God speaking and causing these vibrations, these waves, vibrations that create patterns.
All of that.
Yeah. It's 100%. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe that in itself is quantum physics, or due to the vibration of or not so much that he said something, it's the vibration it carries, the vibration of his message and his intention, and the vibration it carries, and it keeps that frequency. And life was resonating with that frequency, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me. And so, with having said that, I'm gonna turn this over to you. Subjects that you want to talk about, because I could go on and on. Subjects that you want to talk about that you feel are important in this episode. We can always revisit another episode. I could come on to your guys' podcast, whatever.
You're cut out for this, man. You do really intense and good, in-depth interviews. You know, we would love to have you on board, bro. So if you ever want to come on with us, you can.
I would love
the way
to.
you give interviews.
And hey, I'm in California, so I got a lot of enemies to go after.
Yeah, you know, if you ever want to infiltrate Antifa, you know, we're doing a lot of that. So, you know, man, we'd love to have you on board, Cody. I mean, you'd be a great addition.
Yeah, I would love to join officially. So with having said that, man, I want to let you know a little bit deeper about why I'm doing this. So one, it helps me because I'm a very friendly person, and growing up, I was bullied too, and it wasn't like I was beat up, but I was beat on per se. I was made fun of and whatnot, and at an early age, I was like, "Yo, kill or be killed," and when I started raging, I didn't even know what was in me, and what came out of me was like a possession. It was like powerful. It was spiritual. It was like I had something deep inside of me that transcended beyond physicality, that transcended beyond my own brain, my own thought processes, and it like helped me. And I take that same kind of energy and I put it into conversation. I love to talk with people. I love to help people. I feel better. Science proves that when you show gratitude, your happiness increases, even if it's only by 10%. It increases when you show gratitude to others. And you know, like one main aspect of this is, yes, I get to make friends with who I consider important people. Everybody's important to a degree. Everybody's unique. But we coming together, and people watching this, we get to help other people too. And I want to connect people. There's a guy I had on here named John Murphy, and he was a heavyweight MMA champion. He didn't have many fights. His career was stopped short too, and he'll be open about it. It was about personal struggles, substance abuse. He had a lot of fear growing up. He had a lot of anxiety. His dad was an amazing athlete. Never pushed John aggressively, but let John know he was disappointed. And John has it in him. Where we're from, we're partiers. Like we love to fight. We love sports, but we didn't have anything else to do but like party. Like we lived in the mountains, bro, and we would light fires and we would take beer and we'd fight out there. We chase girls. And there was no rules. It was like living in a Viking age. There was no rules. We're a bunch of raiders, you know? And
yeah, that's how Juarez, Mexico, where I was from, in El Paso, Mexico, man. We used to go there and it was just, man, free for all, Wild West.
Yeah, so you know how you know what it's like. So John's 40 now, and he has a kid, and like he just started posting videos online, and he doesn't seem comfortable to talking. But I brought him on for a podcast. He's like, dude, I want to do more. Like he really opened up, and he was smiling ear to ear, and I was like, John, if only you felt this joy for yourself constantly, you would have been the heavyweight world champion that you were looking to be. You know what I mean? And the love that I can feel that he was feeling for himself in that moment where he was just letting out the bad makes me feel more loved because I felt the same way. I never knew my true potential because I'm 5'9". I'm not very tall. I thought that you have to be 6 foot, over 6 foot growing up to be an amazing athlete, to be a world champion. But then I look at Marciano, Tyson, look at all these guys, Daniel Cormier, MMA. These guys are short. These guys are killers, right? And you're a big dude, 6'4", big heavyweight, but you were fast. That's the difference. You were fast, bro.
Really short man style, actually. I had a short man style to shoot everybody.
You sat low. You sat low, and you went forward. You didn't sit behind the jab and counter. You went forward.
I wanted to get the fight over with, and I knew once I landed a shot, it was going to be over. That's why I was trying to fight for him, because I knew about once one of them landed, that'd be all she wrote.
Yeah, not wanting to push you there, but man, you with 4-ounce gloves on, sitting low when a guy's trying to take you down. You have a little bit of takedown defense, 4-ouncer, over. I would love to see that. Because, like, you could call out a heavyweight champion right now. Stipe Miocic, he has Golden Glove boxing experience, whatnot. I love Stipe, but the bottom line is it would definitely be 50-50 in MMA run because you just need to land one. You just need to land one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, with that said, that I'd like to actually introduce John to you. I'll connect you guys together on Facebook, whatever. He's a conversationalist. He will talk with you just like we just did. He's a good guy.
No, I love that, dude. I love meeting new people and talking, dude. And it's just like, especially you, intelligent guys. So these conversations go somewhere, and you learn something from them. You know what I mean? You take away nugget, a golden nugget from all this stuff. So to me, it's like, man, I can't stand conversations with people like a liberal. No, just kidding. like honestly, I have to talk to people that have wits about them, that are smart, witty, deep thinkers, and philanthropists. I like people who think for humanity, who have a philosophical way of thinking, that look at the chessboard from up here, not here. So that's the type of personality that people I like to converse with.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Want to come over here quick? Bring him. I want to introduce you to somebody real quick.
Okay.
I do things my way a lot of the times. Come here, buddy. This is my son.
Oh.
Smile, buddy. This is Triple V.
What's up, dude?
Triple V.
Triple V, what's up, dude? What's up? Hi.
So his name's Victor.
He's out, dude. He's like, what the hell?
His name's Victor Vicen Vidal.
Victor Vidal?
Yep, or Vidal. And his mommy's from Russia.
Victor or
Victor.
Victor.
His mommy's from Russia. That's why we spell it that way and we say it that way. So yeah, man, you got children to look forward to. You got philanthropy work to look forward to.